exciting. We don't even have to wait for each other.
No, that's quite good, isn't it?
Cool.
Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, gosh.
You do, I do.
I look knackered.
So should we start with...
My live now, so wave. Wave. Hello.
Two together.
So rather than doing our usual university challenge style, we're actually together this evening talking side by side, no split screen.
No split screen.
So we've you heard that? Can you hear us? Yes. Where's that come from, Wave? That's quite funny, isn't it?
Oh. Okay, so we've had some questions, mostly around the use of 5 hashtags, which appears to be a new trend. So there was something on a story today saying that there's some new Instagram rules with regard to posting, and we've had loads and loads of people messaging us saying, what do you think? And so we're going to tell you what we think about that. So first of all, I looked at the information behind all this information that was going out on Instagram on stories. And oh, hold on, I've got to let the dog out. Hold on, just one sec. You carry on.
I'll carry on.
I'm just gonna let the dog. I can hear him barking.
Yeah. So we've seen a bit of talk today about people think that only 5 hashtags is recommended now, and we've looked at all the other blogs that talk about hashtagging and Instagram, and we can't find any credible evidence that that's the case. I can kind of see the logic behind it insofar as you've got to be looking less and less spam-like as possible. So you've got to look not like a bot, and bots do tend to use a lot of hashtags. However, it doesn't make sense. You know, Instagram the whole point of Instagram is to use hashtags to spread your content. So if you're using relevant hashtags, I can't see any logic in only using 5. If they wanted to use 5, they would only let us use 5. They'd limit it to 5. So, and the people we look up to, that we check out to see what they're doing and look for their kind of take on these things, are not taking any notice of this hashtag thing either.
Also, can I say something as well? Everything, we had lots and lots of questions of people referring. I know.
Cheers. Yeah, get wine. We got wine.
Lots and lots of questions about people referring to some YouTube video. So we checked out this YouTube video. And this man previously didn't have any YouTube subscribers. He only had 3,000, obviously increased by the stuff that he's blurting out at the moment on YouTube. He only has 430 Instagram followers. And also had no background to what he was saying. There was nothing. He didn't refer to anything. So I do think that before people put stuff like that out on Instagram that causes chaos and people start worrying that they can't do more than 5, then I really think you should look at the background. So this guy has got no knowledge of Instagram. He's not an expert. He's only got 430 followers. He's just some guy who's gone on and made up the rules. So I really, think very carefully before you start sharing stuff like that, going, oh, look everybody, we can only do this now, Yeah,
I think people are worried. I think I understand, the algorithm's got everyone into a tiz, and I do understand we're all looking for that one thing we're getting wrong that's explaining why we're not getting much engagement. But I don't, we don't know. No one really knows, apart from Instagram themselves. A few people have got the direct line into Instagram, but we haven't seen anyone give any supporting evidence to this thing about 5 hashtags. There's no evidence to support it. And the people we look up to, i.e. people who've got large organically grown followings, are not taking any notice of that either. So the people who are saying these things, you can call it scaremonger if you want, haven't got large accounts themselves. They haven't got big organic accounts. So what do they? I don't know where they think they've got the all. How they know. So and they're not actually giving any evidence or sources to their arguments. So
we're not saying that this is not true, right? We're just saying that we have not seen any proof of it, and we haven't been told anything. There's been nothing. So we know as much as you, but what we're saying is that before you listen to someone who's only got 430 followers and doesn't seem to have anything to do with Instagram, then I really think you should just think about it a little. But I investigated into this last week, And the thing about the hashtags is that what Instagram want you to do is to use relevant hashtags. Relevant hashtags. So hashtags which are relevant to what you're posting, and not just a load of follow for follow kind of random ones that look like they might have loads of people looking at them. So yeah. So I just think you need to be Instagram. The whole thing, and Instagram have said this, is that they're trying to rid Instagram of the bots. Rid it of the bots, and that's why they're saying don't join follow pods, don't be in chat groups, don't, not huge chat groups, don't use loads and loads of spammy looking hashtags, and that still remains. So I mean, I think I have not seen anything about 5 hashtags at all, and not through any of the really expert. D&I are just people who have used Instagram for 2 years and have grown an account, right? We're not trained in Instagram, right? We haven't got a hotline. We only just tell you what we know, and from what we're doing.
So we're telling you what we've proved, what we know to be true, and what we've proved ourselves, and we also then apply a bit of logic, and it doesn't make any logical sense to reduce the number of hashtags to 5 without telling people. Why would they do that? They're not trying to trick us. They want us to use it. They want us to, our content to be spread far and wide. They don't want us to be bots. So again, spammy hashtags.
They want to get rid of the bots.
So spammy hashtags are things like follow for follow me, follow train, but like for like, that kind of stuff. It's not a hashtag that's relevant to the content of your post. So tonight, for instance, I posted a picture of Lisa's hallway because it's a guarantee to get me loads of likes, and I'm going to steal them all off her.
Total like stealing.
And all the hashtags I've used
Image theft.
That's my photograph. Are related to hallways and interiors. I wouldn't use, that's relevant hashtags. And it's hashtags of various different sizes. Some are large, some are small. But they're all relevant to that photograph. So
that's better. Yeah. You can see better. Right. Okay, that's better. Look, that's much better.
So I mean, this is what I would do. This is what Lisa would do, and this is what the people who we respect on Instagram would do. And we're not saying we're right and we know everything, but it doesn't make any sense to reduce the number of hashtags down to 5 without telling us. Maybe they have, but I don't see how it's logical.
It may be true, right? But there is no proof behind it, and that information has been given out by a guy on YouTube who has got no knowledge as far as I can see. So that's all we can say about it. But I do think it's very careful. But you need to be very careful when you put out stuff like that, especially in an environment where people jump on it immediately. And I just think you need to be clear on what you're doing, and also if you're going to put out information you've seen, make sure you've investigated it thoroughly.
Exactly. So if you are going to take advice from anyone, and you don't have to, and like we said, no one really knows. I would only take advice from accounts, large organically grown accounts, so they've got a little bit of experience.
Yeah. So there was a few things. There was something else about the 3 words. Now, I think this is like an urban myth thing that goes on, but basically it's the same thing as the hashtags. It's trying to cut out the spam. So if you just put loads and loads of hashtags as a response, or you just put 1-word answers, which is what the apps do, those apps which are bots do, then you're going to look like spam. So the whole point is trying not to look like you're spamming.
So just being authentic.
Just being authentic.
So like we say, there could be something in it. We don't know. No one knows for sure. So just focus on I put less energy into worrying about that and more energy into just creating your best photograph.
Every single thing that we read from the people who have been doing this for years and who really do have got they have got knowledge of it. They say that the best thing you do is you keep your content good. Just keep your content good. Just take your best possible picture, use relevant hashtags, post at a good time, take a good picture, and engage. It's all about engaging. Everything. And there was one thing that this guy said in this video. He said respond quickly. Now Dee and I have been saying this for years. That's the thing that gets you the engagement, is if you post and people answer. Dee and I post a picture and we'll sit there for an hour and we'll respond to every single picture. If you post something like something and you post something else sometimes, who knows? Honestly, I
think the only thing about that would be that if you're posting more than once a day, you might be diluting your audience's attention. That's all. If you got less likes that day on your second post, it's because people have already seen a post from you. So I don't know.
Time of day has got a huge thing to do with posting. But the algorithm is unpredictable. Last night I posted a picture that went absolutely ridiculously mad with loads and loads of comments, and it still only went out to 33% of the population. Of your followers? Of my followers. No, of people aside from me, from my followers.
Okay.
So usually that sort of picture that went really, really well would go out to about 65% of people who didn't follow me. And last night it just stopped. It stopped at 30 and it didn't carry on. So there's definitely, the algorithm is screwed at the moment. I honestly think that, but I don't think that surmising what could be the point does anybody any good. And also, do you know what, it should be fun. It's as soon as you start getting really stressed about things and you do it just for the follows, then it's, what's the point? It should be fun. Don't ever post at 7:30. My heart. But yeah, I mean, posting on Instagram should be a good laugh. It shouldn't all be about, you should want to engage with the people who are commenting on your post. It shouldn't just be you're doing it just to get the followers.
Yeah. So another question I had was, is it okay to post when you're entering on a giveaway post and you have to tag friends in that post, should you tag people you don't know? And obviously there's no rules about this, you can do whatever you like, but I think the general etiquette is that you post the names of people. So normally in those giveaways it's like, tag the name of someone you think would like to win this. So you tag people you know. You don't have to know them in real life, but people you've already had some engagement with on Instagram, and you might kind of have a little chinwag with them already, and tag them. Absolutely. But I think tagging complete strangers is probably a bit, would you, it's like inviting them to a party of yours, isn't it? You don't know them, so why would you?
No, I wouldn't tag, only because it spams up their feed.
Yeah, it annoys me when I randomly tag. I don't mind being I don't mind, I get tagged in quite a lot of things. I don't mind if I know them, but at the moment, for instance, I'm getting tagged in every single post of someone I don't even know or ever engage with. She's just trying to get my attention, and actually I blocked her today because it's just been doing my head in, because it's nothing. Well, if she wants me she wants me to notice her, then talk to me, not just tag me. It's just a bit spammy.
It is spammy.
Yeah.
And also, we're talking about all this, trying to get the best engagement and trying not to be blocked.
Yeah.
If you use those follower applications, they will block you. You will get shadow banned. And I unfollowed every now and then, because I talked about this in my post the other day. It's not possible to follow every single person. Every now and then I go through, because not everybody pops up at the top of my feed. So I keep the amount of people I follow that I know that I can interact with them. So I think the other day I unfollowed like about 100 people when I was on the train, and then somebody messaged me with a screenshot of one of these follower apps. Now, these follower apps are mental. Not only do they totally screw with your brain, they're also Instagram. They're exactly what Instagram. They're bots. They're what Instagram is trying to get away from. They act like a bot. By connecting to your account, so don't use them.
I think the problem.
Just say no.
Yeah, I think the problem with those apps that tell you who's followed you and unfollowed you, as well as everything else. Lisa's on a fast day today, so she's using all her calories up on wine. I am. So 2 glasses of wine, and I'm just like, what could possibly go wrong? Is those apps where you can find out if you've been unfollowed or not by people are the same apps that sell you followers. So you can buy followers. They what they try and do is get you to see who's unfollowed you and how unpopular you are or popular you are, get you all upset, and then you'll want to go and buy followers off them. So they are completely the opposite to what Instagram's trying to achieve. So that you are penalised if you have one of those third-party apps where it's got your Instagram password in it, then Instagram will know that, and you do get penalised.
Anything that connects to Instagram and enables you and makes you put your name and password in order to connect will be considered by Instagram as an app and a bot. So don't do it. And those follower apps do nothing for your mental health anyway. You don't want them.
I'm doing half of me on purpose because I look so knackered today. I'm just trying to give the enigmatic look. Do you follow any new people? We follow new people all the time.
Yes, all the time.
So I think that's back to the whole point of Instagram. Is I'm always looking for inspiration. I'm always looking for new ideas. I'm always looking for, something that's going to really excite me and inspire me. That's what Instagram's for. Is so we inspire each other with good pictures, good ideas, creative ideas, interesting photographs which are a bit different to the norm. So yes, I do. I mix it up quite a lot.
Anything that connects to Instagram that involves you having to put your name and your Instagram name and your Instagram password in is a connection. They can't differentiate between what you're doing. So anything that you anything that you put in that does that is going to look like a bot to Instagram. And that's proven. That's what it is. But I would avoid those follower apps like the plague, to be honest.
Yeah,
they're not good.
So that is
not good.
That's a proven fact. So anyway, and if you look up anywhere, that'll tell you to avoid these apps. Lisa, who's your favourite?
I did my favourite accounts the other week actually. And do you know what? So when we were just talking about accounts that inspire you, so I had to think long and hard actually about the accounts that inspire me. And then I found it really interesting because when I put them all on my post, I chose 10. There was loads more I could have put down, but I chose the 10 that have inspired me for the longest. When I put them all together, it looked like a magazine. It was amazing, which just shows that the quality of people who post their pictures, the quality is so high. It's just amazing. I wouldn't even I don't know why you would use the repost app. I would screenshot, ask if you want to, if you can repost it, or then credit in full when you do it. I just would avoid anything that connects.
So, Casey, we're just trying, not saying we get it right because but it's trying to, I think, I think we said before, spend an hour in the evening while you're watching telly, always replying to your posts, and while you're on there, go in and look at all who you're following and comment on their stuff that they post that day that you like, comment on it, because that's how you keep the engagement up, and that's what we've done, or that's what we've always done. So it's, an hour in the evening of proper solid engagement. And then I suppose some time on creating a good post for that day. And again, you can do them all in one day if you want to for the week. If you've got a couple of hours on a Sunday, I would do a few draft posts so you can save time in the week if the weeks are busier for you. There's a few shortcuts really,
but there's no quick fix to doing it. You need to, if you want to do it, you need to spend time on it, and it is hard work. There's never. Dee and I were saying today, there's never a day off. It's all the time, just all the time. And it is hard work, but we don't find it a chore because we really do love it. But it is hard work. There's no shortcuts to getting those followers. There just aren't. You need to work really hard at it. But you can't. And some of that all these things that people go, oh, don't do this and don't do that and don't do this. Just stick to the rules, right? The rules are producing good content with applicable hashtags at the correct time, and hashtagging correctly. Don't try and buy them. Don't join comment pods. Don't do activity that looks like you could be spam. Just do it, just be consistent. Don't schedule post. I keep meaning to. No, I don't. I never do. Never schedule post. I am really quite old school, and I actually put in my hashtags for every time. I put in my hashtags every single time because I'm really sad. Because obviously, if I was organised, I would put them into my notes and I would copy them and move them around and stuff. Or I would use HishHash, which is an application you can use, which does not connect to Instagram, which switches up your hashtags so that every
so the best time of day to post is when you're everyone's on their phone. So that's normally about this time of night. So we always post in the evening. A good time to post as well, we've said this before, is first thing in the morning about 8 o'clock, and another good time is lunchtime. But I think those morning and lunchtime still won't get as many likes as an evening post when everyone's actually sat down for the whole evening and they'll engage. But saying that, if you've got brilliant photographs, if you've got one of those accounts that's just doing something really new and fantastic photography, such as then it doesn't matter what time you post, you'll get the engagement because people are looking for your post. But that's unusual.
They will.
That's
but
unusual.
I think that's unusual. Yeah. And personally, I would never dream of posting between the hours of 9 and 12 in a million years. I would just never do that. And I would also not post between the hours of 2 and 5 ever.
Because everyone's out doing school
Because
run.
everyone's out doing school run. There's like no one's on it. There's no point. So always first thing in the morning and in the evening. Evening is, it's the best time to post.
Again, it makes logical sense that everyone sat down on their phones in the evening, but in the morning they might be on their phone for, you know, first thing, but they won't be staying around.
Coming up with a good hashtag, go to somebody that you're following who is really good at hashtagging and copy them. That's what to do.
Yeah.
That's what we did when we first started. So I would just go look at what they're hashtagging and hashtag the same things.
Use them as inspiration.
Use them as inspiration, and it's really good to find new hashtags as well. I found some new random hashtag this week. I can't remember.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah, I know, exactly. There we go. So you'll just copy that immediately. There's some random, one that I noticed on a My Domain post, but like some other one which is a really small one, and then copy it. Just you know. Copy it. It's the only way to do it. You don't need to come up with your own.
The USA needs some style tips. I think a lot.
That's my friend Liz.
Who's your friend? We love the US stuff.
I know.
It's so individual.
No, they are. Liz, I don't know how she can say that. I absolutely. It was the American interior design that started me that got me interested in doing it to start with. What percentage of followers should you aim to like your post? It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, they say, you know, we get about 5% at the moment these days, and that's, I think anything above 5% is brilliant engagement. So
yes, I would say 5% is absolutely. So if you get anything above 5%, then copy ours. Yeah, just copy ours. Yeah, just copy,
and we'll copy yours.
That's the best thing to do. If you follow a high-rated Instagram account, check their influencer marketing. Do you get paid like? Oh, influencer marketing companies. Where you connect? No, I don't know. I know what you mean because I'm like popular page. No, because I don't think that they're not taking information from your. Oh, well, actually they are because they're taking your follower numbers.
Yeah. I haven't read anything.
That's an interesting one, but I haven't met anything. Read anything about that.
Our pleasure. As you can see, it's a real chore for us drinking wine and talking about Instagram non-stop. I know. Such a slog.
It is a slog. So going through those points, which are the main ones that we've been raised today, which is a thing. There's a thing at the moment saying about that 10% of followers are seeing your account. I would probably agree with that, even though I don't know it for sure and there's no proof of it. But from my own account, I'm watching. I keep a constant eye. If you have a business account, you'll be able to see how many percentage of people, aside from your own followers, are looking at your pictures. So I don't think it's the 10% of the followers. I think it's trying to get because your followers are already following you. You want to try and get your pictures out to the greater public. So it's that figure, which is the one that comes up on your insights, which is the one that personally I'm looking at all the time. Yeah. Yes, we are doing more. Yes, we're doing Instagram workshops. I've just put some on my website today.
And they're on mine now as well.
They're on Dee's. Yeah, you've been busy while I've been at football.
No, Rob did it. I mean, my IT department did it. Obviously, they're very efficient.
Have you ever felt disillusioned?
Oh yeah.
Well, sort of.
Yeah. You do go to, I mean, I know what you mean. What you're saying, but you do go through phases. You think, oh, why am I bothering? Because it's like talking to yourself sometimes. But if you love what you're doing, and I think Casey, you're a really good example because you're really good at what you do. You've got really original pictures. You're obviously very passionate about what you're doing. Just keep going, and people are regramming you, you know, and don't forget, it took me and Lisa a long time to get this following. The first year, I said 10,000 a day, it took us a year to get to 20,000, and that was posting every day. In those days, we posted more than once a day, you know, and it was solid engagement, plus a few regrams from big accounts, plus, what else was and starting our own hashtag, I think.
Regrams in the hashtag as well.
Yeah.
Starting a hashtag is a really good way of building up your account, and also getting really good engagement. Building a hashtag is a good thing to do. The last 2 weeks I've looked at my lost that. Where are we? And it's between 2 to 15 of new people not following me. Yeah. I think that's kind of, unless you have one that goes viral, I think that's pretty much standard at the moment, to be honest. I'm not sure. I have no idea what it should be. I know that mine ranges from 1%, which always really pisses me off because it means they basically just cut it off at the beginning and not taken it out to a wider audience, or it's gone as far as 70%. So it's one or the other. It's like an extreme. Last night I put a really popular picture on and it was 33%, which was a lot less than I would have expected, which means they haven't pushed it to whatever. I can't, who knows? We don't know the algorithm, and we cannot say that we do. So all we know is that you persist in being consistent. I think.
That's it. All the energy we're expending on trying to work out the algorithm, and people are expending all this energy on searching out whether or not it should be 5 hashtags or 30 hashtags, or how many words you should be using to engage back. All that energy we're trying to work it out, which we'll never work it out.
No.
Until Instagram actually tell us, which
they'll never do.
Which they never will.
No.
Then you might as well put all that energy into just producing your best content and enjoying Instagram as far as you can.
Should be about enjoyment. It should not be about the following. Is it better to have a picture of yourself, your profile pic? That's a really interesting question, because I was discussing this the other day. Is that it's really interesting that in the past, the traditional way of marketing would be to put forward a brand and have that would be the brand. But now the big brands, come to people like D&I to help them market their products. So they're coming to us because we are a personal face. People trust us because they know that we wouldn't market anything that we didn't really like. So I find that really interesting, because times are changing. So actually now, when D&I talk to small brands that we've worked with about how to market their brand, we say it should be 80% of all about them and 20% about selling. So I would say, yes, a picture of your face.
Unless you're already well established with a brand logo, I would use yourself. People want, if you look at big brands now that have always used massive logos, they're now sending me emails from. It's always from a person now, isn't it? At that big brand.
Yes, always a person.
Yeah, so they're personalising their big brands. So
that has not traditionally been the case.
No, it hasn't. So I think the more personal you are, the better. And back to what we've always said, it's people follow you because they like you, because they want, they're interested in you. So if you're being your authentic self, including a picture, then they're going to engage with that much more readily than they would with a brand or someone that's not. It's just a shop front. I think anyway. I think that's the way it's going. And again,
that's
if you
personal experience.
And as far as personal experience, and also if you I listen to quite a lot of podcasts and read a lot of blogs at the moment. And there's a lot of blogs being written by people who've been in the advertising trade for ages.
Just giving you some more.
Who are all saying it's all about storytelling. It's all about the authentic story. Now that's what everyone wants. That is, and traditional marketing agencies are all struggling because they cannot bridge this gap between what people want. People want to know the story behind a product. They don't want to be sold to anymore. They want to know the provenance. They want to know how it's going to. What the story is behind it.
I know, and I do think that's really interesting, and I think that's proven by the fact that we work with brands so often, and they're doing that because they are not relying on random advertising. They're relying on influencers to get the word out there, which is face-to-face marketing. So I do think in the past that definitely marketing would say get your brand out there, it should be all about the brand, but I think now it's kind of changing.
I think it's really changing. I honestly, it's just such a sea change. Social media is speeding this up so much as well. It's a sea change.
Susie, can you recommend any relevant podcast to listen to?
Gosh.
Who could that be?
Not on the top. Oh yes, I think a really good podcast.
We're doing a podcast. We just haven't done it yet.
We haven't done it yet. We did a rehearsal today. Someone's saying about running your own hashtag. So the reason why that gets you followers is because when you invite people to join your hashtag game, they have to follow you and whoever you're hosting the hashtag with as well. So in order for them to join in your game, they have to use the hashtag and follow you and your co-hosts. So that's great, and it's a
good way of growing a following.
It also quickly establishes you as a authority, or a kind of that a bit about that. Say like the guys who just started a vintage hashtag the last 2 weeks. My Vintage Abode, is it? So they're giving themselves a bit of they're sort of labelling themselves as vintage experts, or they know about vintage, so it gives them a little bit of authority on that subject. So again, people will follow them because they think, they know about vintage, they're doing all the vintage stuff. So
which they do.
It just gives them a bit more kudos. So, but again, with hashtags, it takes a long time to get going, and you have to keep plugging away, and it's a little bit disillusioning at first.
It is.
Yeah.
But sorry. Going back to seriousness, we got distracted then because Dee and I have been practicing our podcast today. If you want to follow a hashtag, a podcast which is all about hashtags, then about Instagram, then you need to go to me and Ola. Obviously, she knows everything. That there is.
There's only a couple of people that I would listen to about Instagram.
Oh, and Inside Stylist as well. Yeah, MRMT as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Inside Stylist, another one about in the interiors industry. That's if you're interested in being a stylist or you want to know how to get in and all that sort of stuff.
Fantastic.
Yes, she has.
Looks good.
This is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of having, yes. So having your own hashtag
so think
is a good fun way.
So Susan, work
building
out
a community.
what's your niche? You know, work out what your niche is. What do you love talking about? What would you like to share with other people? You've got to really enjoy hosting a hashtag. You've got to really enjoy looking at the pictures people are posting on your hashtag, and you've got to decide which is the best. But you can't fake that. You have to really love it. Sorry, is that Jason?
Oh, yeah. It's my husband. He's now shouting outside.
Yeah.
Yes, so hashtags, they still are. So when we started My Home Vibe, there weren't any other hashtags, and we were the only one.
There weren't any UK ones?
No, in the UK. But there's loads now, and they're absolutely brilliant. And what they do, as you all know this anyway, but they curate feeds of applicable pictures. So like the vintage, what's it called?
Abode.
Vintage Abode will curate beautiful vintage homes into one feed, which benefits everybody and also creates a community. So that's why they're so fab, and they're also a good way. Hosting one is fun, you know. It's good fun.
If it's your thing, like Lou Watkins, she hosts one called How I Vintage, because she loves vintage. She's really good at vintage.
She's amazing.
It's been her hobby for years and years. Her job has nothing to do with that. It's been her hobby and her passion. And now she's hosting a hashtag about it, and she loves it. You know, and we love doing My Home Vibe because our passion was, you know, we loved everyone owning their own style and enjoying finding their own style. So,
and we liked it. So My Home Vibe, we made it inclusive and exclusive.
Yeah, Lisa's got a few of those, haven't you?
I've got what?
The hashtags you made up called like.
Oh yeah. I am a knob.
I'm a knob. Amazingly, only one other person ever used that. I can't believe that.
I know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so when we started, there wasn't any other hashtags around, but now there's loads. Should you promote posts if you have a business account? You can do. Yeah, I was talking to a company the other day, and they have been doing that, and it has really, really grown their following.
I think they are going to reward that, Instagram and Facebook, because that's what they want people to do. So
I mean, you can't expect, the thing is, you can't expect to keep using it for free. And also, when I think that D&I's entire businesses are on Instagram, and we don't pay anyone to do that. You know, we're on Instagram and we're not paying, and yet it's a marketplace. So I think really that that you must expect in the future that you're going to have to pay to promote your posts. If you're a business, I have to say I don't disagree with it, because I don't. It's free advertising, and Instagram aren't gaining, but we are.
And I think you know what we do here again, which is good from good sources, is that in the future they will be prioritising personal accounts over business accounts. Not yet, but in the next in the near future, possibly, yeah.
Is there anything else that we have missed?
No. What time is it?
I don't know. I need to pick up your phone that's fallen on the floor.
Oh,
it's 8 o'clock.
Okay, yeah. So thank you. That's fine. You're welcome. Thank you. We're still sober.
We're still here. We're still sober.
Yeah, good, excellent.
Yes, look at Inside Stylist. That's all about styling.
And perhaps we should put together a blog post at some point about good podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps I could do that.
Dee! Good Lord! Dee's going to do a blog, everyone.
I'll do the research.
Calm yourself.
Yeah.
They may charge for swipe up. That would be fairer.
It would be fairer.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, it is. It's free, isn't it? I mean.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Susie.
Yeah. Thanks. So everybody wants you to write a blog.
Yeah, I have got.
Do it.
Yeah, I haven't got enough to do, Susie. Thanks. What have I said?
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Definitely rude.
Okay. Yeah, we'll sort that out.
Okay. All right. Bye. Thanks, everybody. How do you turn it off? Oh, in. Bloody hell.